Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming. This is going to be another Dragonheir Selling Gods video. In today's video, I'm gonna show you something that's gonna blow your mind. It actually blew my mind, and that's going to be a rally team against a Mekkatorque that's gonna do close to 350 million damage without any premium legendary, right? None of the premium ones. I'm not using, I don't know, Mr. Asia, no Thelendor, no GLADYS. I don't even have GLADYS, and I still managed to get to, I think my highest I've seen so far was 347 million damage. And I guess, you know what, enough talking, let's jump into it. Now, before I jump into this video, I do want to mention that if you want to support me as a content creator, you can use code OddOne that you see over there at the top. Costs you nothing, helps me a ton. By doing that, you get some free stuff instantly, right? Some Starlight Dice, some more Marrow, but then also you should be getting some a Heliolite and more War Marrow and more free stuff in your inbox just by using that code, right? Costs you nothing, helps me a ton. Pretty much the way that that works is if you do decide to spend, which I never encourage people to spend, but if you do decide to do that, I get like 2% out of that. Plus, the more people support, the better it looks. Also, you get free stuff. So why would you do that? And if you do decide to support me, I appreciate it. Thank you. But let's jump into this team, and it's a pretty fun one. It's a pretty quirky one. However, there is a catch. I'm gonna tell you from now. The catch for this team is that I'm personally manualing it because you know what, the damage jumps by 100 million. Because of the fact that I'm manualing it as opposed to just leaving it on auto. And I said, you know what? I know that I personally like to do most of the stuff on full auto and let it do on its own. But because I love Filito, as a lot of you might know, my thing used to be Filito go boom, right? Filito go boom. I love him so much. He's so fun to play with that. I said, you know what? This team, I'm just gonna manual it because it's totally worth it, right? The damage output is so insane. I'm still testing and tweaking a little bit, but right now it's running so cool. So pretty much the way that you have to manual, I'm even doing it on 4 times speed, but the key thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you let Filto go and do his ultimate exactly at that point so that he can do 2 ultimates against those magical crystal, magical balls, whatever they are. The first time around, it doesn't quite work. When it comes back to the second time, you're gonna see, soon as Rose does that, you let him do it once, and then he's gonna proc it, and he's gonna do it again, right? That's the goal. The goal is to let Filto do the ultimate twice against them, and you're gonna see the damage is insane, right? We're almost at 200 million with just being 1 minute in. You see, as soon as that happens, boom, you let him go. That's all you have to do, right? You just have to click on that auto over here and then remove it by the time just remove it after he does the second time around. It's so difficult. I think it's close to impossible to be able to do a timing where he does it exactly at the right time twice to be able to, kind of like take them down. Because the goal is you really want to take them down so you don't get the recharge speed penalty on you, right? If you don't kill them, that's how they land the recharge speed penalty on you. Also, at the same time, obviously, the damage that he does, right, because he hits 6 of them 3 times when he has rallies up, is gonna be insane. Like, the difference, like I mentioned, it's 100 million difference between this working and not. Now, another key one that's, like, extremely important and really, really helpful is actually Zagomir, right? The fact that he brings another unique debuff in the accuracy penalty makes him really good. But not only that, he also brings the passive, right? He has that passive where he throws a carrot to an ally that kind of like gives them some healing, but also gives them a little bit of a turn meter, ultimate energy boost. That can be extremely helpful, right? Because sometimes you might not exactly come back to that 15-second recharge time, because you see my Rose is going twice, right? Once as soon as those magical crystals spawn, and then once towards the end. So that's really important, really key. You might be, if you see that it's a little bit difficult, you can try and tweak that where you get people like Alton, maybe a little bit more survivability. If you see that he gets too many of the carrots from Zagomir. But look at this, I'm at 276 million, I'm still going. The team doesn't go all the way, right? I'm gonna tell you now, it doesn't go all the way. However, I'm pretty happy. Like I said, I did 347 million before I started this recording. That's pretty solid. That's pretty good. And you know what? I'm happy considering the fact that I don't have GLADYS, which is kind of like, you know, GLADYS is the key against this fight to be able to do the max damage, because the damage boost that she brings is just insane. Okay, this might be a bit quirky. Yep, we sometimes I'm shocked that Rose does not land that Witch's Remains, considering the fact that she does like AoE and hits people around them. It just blows my mind, right? But it's still, you know, if you see that you have some bad RNG where you don't quite land that, just restart it once or twice if you feel like doing it. But as you can see, I'm still at 310 million. The survivability is, you know, it looks scary at times, but because of the fact that survivability looks a little bit scary, I chose to go with not getting the min-max of damage for, what's his name, for Filto to get the, you know, wave breaker. So I just chose to go with the shield, right? That little bit of shield is actually really important. Now, this time we might die at this hit. Okay, Alton died, but still, you know what? Alton died. I still got myself 330 million and one more pop. 333 million, right? I did 347 before I started the recording, and there's what, a minute and a half more to go. That's pretty good, right? That's pretty good considering the fact that apart from Laurentiel, I don't think I have anybody inspired in this team, right? I don't think I have anybody inspired in this team, and again, GLADYS is kind of like such a cheat code for this team in order to push the damage to the max, and you know what? I'm pretty happy. It's kind of fun that Filto's the best one for this, right? I don't think Huberg or Terendor can match him, but that makes me really happy because I always like my Filto, right? Filito Go Boom, he was one of my favorite ones. It's pretty cool. Also, I like the fact that I'm using, you know, quirky combination of Rose and Sagomir in order to do it. Again, 335. Maybe I'm gonna try and tweak some stuff and do some little bit of changes. Maybe, you know what? Maybe one thing I should try and do is swap a piece of gear on Filto. The thing that I did, because he's a bit squishier, is I tried to give him this piece of gear, right? The one that gives him lifesteal on basic attacks. Let me just try and give him another one that just gives him damage when it's at max HP. So the Emperor's Might one. Let me see. Oh yeah, don't need crit rate. Give me Emperor's Might with crit damage, right? Because that's, oh sorry, Imposing Presence. With crit damage, there we go. So let me manual a run and come back to this one just to see if it's a big difference or not. So see in a bit. Okay, so it seems like that piece of gear is really important, right? Without it, Filto just dies 1 minute earlier. So that's worth keeping in mind, right? Giving you that extra lifesteal is going to be extremely important so you can push your damage to the max. But let's have a look at the skill timings of this team. So I have Alton and Laurentiel pretty much going full YOLO, right? Because it doesn't really matter. I guess I could try and swap this out just to make sure that it works at the right time. I could just make him like Laurentiel go every 15 seconds. But you know what? He puts this domain up pretty much all the time that we need it. Same thing for Alton. So I guess I can leave it. But I'm going to test more, see if I can push it even further. But they are full YOLO. Then when it comes to Filto, honestly, you don't need any timings because like I said, you're going to be manualing it if you're trying to do this team. If not, maybe just leave the rally people on full YOLO because it's difficult to make it work on full auto because of the fact that the boss removes your buffs at the like 22, 24, something like that. When he does that hit, he removes all your buffs. That includes rally. And by doing so, you lose a lot of that ultimate energy that you gain from casting your ultimates while the rally is up and whatnot. So that's why, you know, manualing it is kind of the way from my point of view. Then we have Rose going at 11, then every 15 seconds. 11 is just the right time after those mechanical crystals, balls, whatever they are. After they spawn is the perfect time so that she does the ultimate, you know, does that those hits and then also landing that Witch's Remains. And then every 15 seconds, because, you know, we're just about getting that 15 seconds full recharge. And then we have Sagomir going at 21, kind of like alternating the attack penalties, right? Because Sagomir brings attack penalty on his ultimate as well. He also brings accuracy penalty, which is another unique debuff, which makes him really valuable for this fight. And then again, every 15 seconds for him. Now, let's go ahead and have a look at the builds, at the talents and everything. So let's start with Sagomir. I just went this way, right? More damage from his max HP, and then you really want to get Relentless Pursuit, so you have the attack penalty on for most of the fight. Alton, I kind of went like this way. I haven't changed him in a while. I'm not sure that, like what's gonna be the best option, but this is the one that kind of makes him do the most damage possible, at least. Then we have Rose, pretty much similar. Gave her this again for to extend debuffs. This one's gonna be really important. When she successfully grants a buff, she gains 5% ultimate energy, can trigger every 10 seconds. So every time she does her battle skill, right, or at every other time, she's gonna be getting that ultimate energy, and that's gonna be really helpful, right? It's gonna be really helpful because you want her to gain as much as possible. Maybe this one's not the best actually, now that I look at it, because you gain 5% every 10 seconds, but because it's her full recharge of it is 9 seconds, you do it a bit earlier, you might do it every 18 seconds. So because of that, you might be better off to getting this every 3%, right? Because then you have a chance to land the debuff on the ultimate and land the debuff on the battle skill. So this one might proc faster. So you know what? Let me just change it because it might be better. And then again, same thing, this one to try and do a bit more damage based on max HP. Then showed Alton. Let me show, what's his name? Let me show Laurentiel, right? Kind of like this way, give him as much attack as possible. And then Filto, I feel like this is, from what I tested, I feel like this one seems to be the best. Actually, maybe not this, because after gaining Rally, deals AoE damage, right? Heroes damage increases, or actually, maybe I don't know. I still had to test. It's just, you know, there's so many options in here, but I feel like this is the one that worked best. Now let's have a look at the builds. And like I said, when it comes to inspiration, apart from Laurentiel, that's Inspired 4. Inspired 5 would be so much better, of course, because would extend the duration of the buffs. But you know what? It's not mandatory. It just helps because it gives him a little bit more attack. There's nothing too crazy that's influenced by Laurentiel having high awakenings. Everything else just base. So let's start with Alton. Alton's gonna be in the Crown of the Unclean, right? This one will allow us to land that extra unique debuff on the boss so that we can do more damage. Then he's the one that wears the Frost Taint, again, another unique debuff in the Frozen, so it's pretty standard. And then apart from that, just try and give him damage, right? As much damage as you can, give him accuracy to land these debuffs, and then you're good to go. Then we have Rose, which is gonna be in the Witch's Remains. Then I gave her Emissary's Whisper. Now, the Emissary's Whisper is extremely important for Rose, especially if you have no inspirations on her, because, okay, it gives you 10% more damage. That's not necessarily the most important. Is the fact that not only does it give you 10% more damage, but you also get a 20 skill haste, right? Anything that can push your ultimate or like, you know, push your ultimate back to get to that 15-second recharge time is going to be really important. And because of that reason, the Emissary's Whisper is going to be kind of like the best set for her. After you give her like around 210 to 20 accuracy, give her as much enlightenment as possible so she can do as much healing and as many hits from the ultimate as possible, right? Then we have Sagomir. Sagomir is going to be in the Puppeteer's Inspiration. This one's going to boost, again, our ultimate energy, taking it down by 10%. So it's going to get, you know, get us to the perfect spot or close to the perfect spot in there for Rose and for Sagomir. Then I kind of gave him like a crit rate and strength and prepared. He does some damage based on max HP, you know. I tried what I could do and then see what's happening. Okay, the attack percent I don't think is the right choice. I think I should just swap to HP percent because he also does damage based on his max HP. So maybe I should swap that, but I'm gonna leave it for now. Then I kind of gave him the Rift Hourglass. Reason for the Rift Hourglass is so that, again, he can come back to his ultimate as often as possible. I'm not 100% sure if this affects the passive, but because, you know, because of the fact that I'm trying to push this passive as well, I just gave him the Rift Hourglass. There's honestly nothing else I think in there that could help. Maybe the Drago's Blast Jar that could keep us alive. But I feel like this Rift Hourglass to give us the attack penalty land at the same time that we want is going to be really important. Then we have Laurentiel. He's going to be in Dawn Pipe Organ. Obviously, full attack on him. You don't care about anything else. Full attack in Brotherhood Spirit. Maybe honestly I should just swap this one and try and give him one that's flame boosted, right? Actually, it kind of seems like I don't get much. It seems like I get more damage from this one, so I'm gonna keep it. But Brotherhood Spirit, because he doesn't do any debuffs, he doesn't do anything else helpful. His damage is not that crazy, so just Brotherhood Spirit, Dawn Pipe Organ, and then also gave him an attack percent glove in the Precise Carnage, again, just to give him more attack. And now the main event, Filito Go Boom himself is going to be built in a Strike and Prepared, the crit damage glove with Penta crit rate, the one that I specifically forged to carry over the next season. Then, like I said, attack percent, chance imposing presence with as much crit damage as possible. One thing you want to keep in mind, you don't need more than 70% crit rate, right? You can push as much crit damage attack as you can as long as you get to 70% crit rate, because of the fact that Laurentiel, when he does his ultimate, if he has a, you know, one rally, which he should have always, he grants crit rate up to all rally allies, right? If it's just one. If it's two, he gets 40% crit rate up. So that means your Filto, whenever he does his ultimate, should always be part of this domain, should always have the crit rate up, so 70% is just fine, right? That's worth keeping in mind. Then a piece of Fearless Challenge, really important. This one's gonna boost the damage crazy. Actually, I'm just noticing, maybe I should swap to this. Actually, it's not that much. I think I lose too much attack with that one, right? Lose too much attack, but still. Fearless Challenge, and then obviously Blood Shield Mark. Again, you're gonna see crit damage attack, as much crit damage in attack as I could get, because for the artifact, I have Flute of the King, which I believe this is the best one for him, because it's pretty much when the ultimate skill is cast, he consumes it and gets 25% damage boost. This is guaranteed. I've seen lots of people use Hysteria Pan Flute. I don't think this is better, at least in the team, in the specific one that I'm showing you with this specific rotation. Maybe if you let him go full YOLO and whatever, because he gains rally when he does the battle skill if he hits several targets. But the way that this one works is he only gains rally if he hits 2 targets or more. When he hits the boss, it's a single target. So you're not going to gain rally from doing it, and that's what this one says, right? Let me see. After consuming rally by casting a skill, the wearer's damage increased by 5%. So the way that I'm using him, at least, I thought it was when he gains it, but when he consumes this, so the way that I see it is, he only consumes rally on his ultimate. And because I only use his ultimate twice, I use it once, he gained 10% damage boost, and then I use the second time, and then that's it. So it's 20% max. So this one's better. But I guess, like I said, again, if you let him go full YOLO, he's gonna keep spamming those ultimates, then maybe, yeah, the Hysteria Pan Flute could be better, as it has the potential to go up to a 30% max, but still, 30% and 25 guaranteed, I'm not sure. I still prefer this one, because you know what? The king needs his flute. But that's pretty much it, right? That's the team over here. I'm gonna leave it at this. I'm not gonna keep boring you if it bores you, but I really love this team. I'm really happy about it. I was really, I was a bit frustrated, like, damn it, I don't have GLADYS. What am I gonna do? Well, I managed to do it. I just have to manual it, which, you know what? It's a game. I'm enjoying it. I don't mind manualing one team for like, 2-3 minutes once a day for the next few days while we have the Mekkatorque, if it means I can get a ton more damage. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope you liked it. I hope it gets you to the damage that you want to get. I hope there's lots of you out there that are like me, right? That don't have GLADYS and like, oh, what am I gonna do? Well, this is the solutions for you. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. As always, if you do enjoy my content, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel to see when I upload next. Don't forget to support using code OddOne that you see over there at the top, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace, love, take care, everyone. Bye, guys.